Terrible start. Hello, I am Sophie welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a discovery writing vlog? I don't really know. As a part of the summer writing retreat, I have decided that I am going to explore 4 projects of mine that are very vague at the moment, and just kind of turn them into something a little bit more detailed. Now, this is not making a full outline, but my goal in the retreat and with these videos is to get it to a point where it could be outlined. So I want to do as much brainstorming as possible to get a firm idea on what this project could be, so then later I could end up outlining it and drafting it, working on it. You know what I mean. The first one I did was Project Moonrat. I'll put the video up here. It is a sci-fi about asteroid mining and a cult that runs the world. It's good stuff. It's good stuff, I promise. That was a lot of fun. That was a good exploration. Did a little research, did some character work. It was good things, And I ended up with very nice little think boards. That's what they're called in Papyrus Author, but I ended up with these 2 that I can use to actually outline the book in the future when I do end up writing it. But that was a lot of fun to figure out and work on. I think it took like 2 or 3 days, so it's not crazy work. And today I will be working on a project that some of you might know about already, because technically it was a nano project for me in a long time ago. It was like 2022 or 2023, I think. Needless to say, it didn't go well because I didn't plan it. I didn't plan it properly. I have learned since then that if I don't have an in-depth outline of a book, I cannot write it because I lose momentum and it falls apart. Ever since then, this project, which is called Project Jade, has fallen to the wayside. It's pretty much not existed, except for in fond memories. Slightly fond memories. But today, I want to bring it back. I want to actually work on this story and get something that could be an outline. Or, like, the step right before an outline. Yes. So, what is Project Jade about? Project Jade is a fantasy, and I know quite a bit about this one because I did plan on writing this already. So I have a bit more information about this one than Project Moonrat or any of the other projects that will be in this series. So, Project Jade is a fantasy that takes place in a desert setting, but it is a desert that is the product of desertification. It did not look like this in the past, but the people of this desert setting have had to get used to a desert setting. Okay, not very important, but yes. And it follows 2 characters, which I will show you in a minute, because I do have drawings. Anyways, it follows 2 characters. One of them is the daughter of a woman who has gone to prison for trying to assassinate the ruler of this realm, city, territory. Yeah, she's the daughter of a woman who has attempted to assassinate this man, and it has obviously not worked. And she's grown up in, there are sort of like affiliate prison cities on the outside of the main city. So she has grown up in one of these cities, and now that she's old enough to take care of herself, she doesn't have to stay in the prison system because she didn't try to assassinate the ruler. She has the choice of leaving. She leaves because she is trying to follow in her mother's footsteps, except that she has a much more concrete plan because her mother has, within the prison system, been trying to sort of hone her craft, hone her strategy, and her daughter is going to be the one that executes this strategy. And then the second character is a guy from the sort of upper echelon of the world we're in. There's a series of families that are all running the markets, essentially. They all sort of monitor and maintain different areas of the market, and his family's corner of the market, I guess, is not doing so hot. It's not doing great. I don't really know much about this character, so that's going to be something we need to explore. I definitely put more work into the female main character because I thought she was going to be the only main character. I've since learned that I can't write a book with one main character, so he's also here. And that's pretty much all I know about him. This world, the fantasy aspect in this world comes from the fact that everything magical, I guess, comes from potions. Not so much where they are imbibed, but that they are applied to different objects to get them to serve a specific purpose. I actually don't know if they're gonna be like a drinking and eating thing. I'll have to figure that out. But for right now, characters, people, use them to like make machines run better or to increase the size of like a product. And in the case of my female main character, her mother has created these jade knives, where Project Jade comes from, and she has also created this mixture of a potion thing that she puts onto these knives, that when the user has a target and knows where they want the knife to land, they can throw it however they want and it will land on that target. You need to figure out the nuances of that because that sounds insane, but that is the idea. So this girl, my female main character, is equipped with these knives, and she's equipped with the recipe for which to make the potion that she like dips the knives in, or like washes the knives with almost. And she has one goal. She has one goal: to kill the leader of this realm. I actually don't know very much about this. It's fine, that's what we're here for. And she tries. She tries. I'm not entirely sure yet if I want to show this like for the first time in the book, or if she's already aware of this happening before we start reading. She is trying to kill this guy, okay? She is. But every time she locks in on her target, she knows what she's doing, and she throws her knives, they always hit one of his administration. And they always kill one of his administration, but they never end up hitting him. Somehow he has like some force field around himself that like makes sure he will never be killed. And she's trying to figure out, okay, so what is he using? What does he have on himself that is working against her own magic? What is happening? Ultimately, she ends up teaming up with the guy from the rich families. Things happen. It's things that I actually don't know, because when I was trying to write this for NaNoWriMo, I didn't figure that part out. So that is what I know about Project Jade. And as I was talking, I figured out a couple of things that I think could be fun. So we'll add that to the think boards as we go on. But I do have a couple things, world building wise, for this project that I really just need to add into this program. First of which is in my sketchbook. Ew, I didn't realize how dirty the back was. I've used like 20 pages in this, and it's been 2 years. It's really great. The daggers, the knives. This is them. This is an upgraded version of what I have drawn previously in like 2023 or something. So I have these. This is what they look like in essence. And then all around it is some world building stuff that I want to add to my computer. That is great. That is fun. I also need to scour my Google Docs to see what information I have, which I'm gonna open right now. Okay, I have four documents to look through. Wow, I'm like so white now. Oh, this is draft. Oh my god, ew. I got about 7,000 words in the zero draft before I gave up. That's not bad. That's not bad. Some of these lines are like kind of cooking, I'm not gonna lie. See, I love when I do half the work already. It makes things so much easier. Okay. Good things. Let's get started. No more reading through the zero draft, the half zero draft, not even. I think I'm gonna start with the characters and building up a little bit about them, because I had a lot of ideas while I was talking, and then we will get more into the actual plot of the book. Okay, so some of you older viewers might recognize these, but these are the two characters, if it'll focus on them. Okay, you can like barely see them, I apologize, but these are the two characters. Ituofi, Selin. That is the male main character I was talking about. This is our like main character right now, but I do want to make it equal, where we see both of them. Okay, let's get this party freaking started. I just made a terrible discovery. This was my This was my 2021 project. Oh my god. 2021? I did not know that. Oh my god, it's 20, what the heck? I hate that. Frankly, I hate that. Alright, people. We have the first little web done here. Some good character things happened here. I'm already very into what's happening here. It's a bit of a commentary on overconsumption of natural resources, I guess I should say. Like I already said earlier, the setting of this story is one that in the past was rather lush. I'm gonna have it be set just off the coast of an ocean. There's a lot of water coming in, or there was a lot of water coming in. It's a very lush sort of area. And in a time long before what we end up seeing, that land had been pretty much destroyed. And it has been destroyed primarily through mining. There was, I guess I should say, a plethora, an abundance of precious stones, gems, and the like in the ground in this area. So that's originally why this city gets placed here, and that is the main function of this city pretty much, is that they run on these precious stones, which is going to be fun for visuals. The main thing that the two main characters connect on, because one of them is a girl from the prison towns that ultimately do most of the mining for the city, and the other is the heir to be the manager and the overseer of these mines. They're on very different fields, but they connect on the fact that they both want these mines gone. They want them to be done. That is what we're doing. That is what's happening. There are a couple things in here that they're like a pinkish red. Those are things I need to figure out, more like world building. But I think that the characters are doing pretty good. It's very basic at the moment. Nothing super crazy. I've really just built out who they are in the world, how they're connected with the world, where they come from, etc., and their basic motivations, which, if you want to know how I build characters, I have a video about that. It's a very abstract process. I don't have a super concrete way to do that, but here's a little glimpse into it. We're gonna move on to world building. That's the best part. I love world building. I haven't worked on a fantasy story in ages, so this is gonna be a lot of fun. I've only been world building for sci-fi for like years, so this is gonna be a little bit different. You get to add some like pizzazz, some sparkle, some magic. It doesn't have to be rooted in science. This is great. Let me know if you guys feel that way too, but like, I feel like I have to approach fantasy world building in a completely different way than sci-fi world building. I don't know. I have missed this since pretty much scrapping Project Quest. I think I'm going to start with building up the upper class families that sort of run the city, because my male main character is a part of that group. We're going to see a fair amount of who's in that group, especially because a lot of them are going to die. Oops. So I want to kind of build that out. I think we're going to do that first. And then, I don't know. And then I don't know, you know? Actually, I do kind of know. Jesus Christ. I want to get the basic plot stuff down, because I do know the midpoint. Either it's going to be the midpoint, or this is going to be a duology. I was thinking about that too. It might be a duology. I do have that midpoint piece, or that end of book one piece. I guess I do kind of have like a catalyst-y part. A catalyst as in like, it's what brings the two main characters together for the first time. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, but anyways, world building first, then we can get to trying to figure out what I want this book to even be about. Okay, I'm back at my desk because my laptop was about to die. But I have, what have I done? What have I done so far? I have figured out 9 of the 12 houses I want around the ruler of this land. Also, don't look at this pimple, it's so big. I want 12 houses because I think that'd be fun, but I still need to figure out 3 more houses, so it might stay at 9. I don't know. But in trying to figure out the last 3, I've took a little bit of a detour, and I have decided to try and figure out the name of the city in which this story takes place. I want it to be gemstone and mining related because that is why this city was founded in the first place. That's why they're here. So I want the name to sort of reflect that. So I am doing a little bit of research today. Didn't know I was going to. That's fun. I am currently in a gemstone glossary looking at different gemstone terms to see what can like be turned into a name. I'm so like bad with like choosing names. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I also got a few extra world building things. As you can see here, any of the purple stuff is just extra world building notes I've come up with, which is fun. And then over here, I found maybe a new thing that could be used in the book as sort of the re-evaluating of the goals thing after the midpoint. You know, it's like you make this new discovery, now you have to like react and do something else. I think I have a little bit of that, so that's a little plot work. We'll work on that in a minute. But yeah, things are going great so far. This is a lot of fun. I have missed fantasy a lot, and I didn't realize, but this is a lot of fun. This is great. I'm gonna keep looking for city names and then hopefully finish all these houses that I want in the world, and then maybe we can move on to plot. I do want to know a little bit more about this whole potion thing, though. I don't know. We'll see. When I don't know how to name something, like right now I'm trying to name the system of magic that is used in this world, I just put words into Google Translate and translate them into Latin to try and get like a fun fantasy sounding name. Because of what my magic system was, I was trying to look at like stone, I was trying to look at like the ground, or you know, something, just trying to get like cool looking words on the side, and then I just take parts of the words that I like and then I mash them together to make a new word that's not real, and then that ends up being the name of my fantasy thing. It's really great. I haven't had to do this in ages. I think the last time I did this was for Project Star, where I had to name the space station that they're on. So this is a nice little throwback for me. Okay, I think I figured it out. It's going to be, if it'll focus, Pontasia. That is what I've come up with. I don't know if I'm gonna really keep that, but it's a good start. We're gonna start there, and I got it from this. Got that, and it means powerful stones, which is what the magic system is all about, so it makes sense. But I didn't want it to be like directly Latin, because this doesn't take place on Earth, so that's what we're going with right now. Pontasia. I'll have to work on it, but that's the idea. We're back once again. Messed up my hair there, that's fine. I think I've got a good amount of world building done. Let me show you. So here is everything. This is all the character work I did initially. These are the houses that I was talking about. Very cute. There's 9 instead of 12 because I couldn't think of 3 more, so we gave up and it's 9. Here was coming up with city names, and then here is the magic system. I ended up with the name Ontasis. Ontasis. Sounds scientific. I don't know. It works. Anyways, there is everything world building wise. Now we're gonna make a new one. Empty think board. There we go. Create. And we're gonna work on the plot. I actually don't really know what I'm doing in this, but let's go. this right now. This is the main issue, filling in the middle. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so it's not as easy to read. We're just gonna go big picture. Okay, I have the catalyst right here. I have the two main characters' goals. I have their major setbacks as characters. A little bit of dialogue already, which is fun. Probably not gonna keep the dialogue like this, but it gets the point across. And I have how their story ends. Like, individually, what they end up doing, what we end up seeing by the end of book 1. I did decide that it's gonna be 2 books. Right down there. So I have the setup, I have what we're looking for, what we're trying to do, what we end up doing, the turning point. This is like the turning point towards the end of book 1, and that's it. The entire middle is empty. I do have this little note about my female main character becoming a little bit infamous among the houses as she's trying to do her duty to her mom and kill the leader. But I don't actually know what they're doing at this point, so that's gonna be fun to try and figure out. So I was about to close this up for a little bit and go pick up groceries, because I need to go get groceries. And I turn. It's literally orange outside. There's a dust storm happening right now and I had no idea. I'm embarrassed. I guess we'll get back to work. It's gone from orange to pink outside. I don't even know if you guys can tell. It's kind of pink outside. And still nothing. Yay. This angle isn't the best. We'll make it work. I did realize I went back to Project Moonrat to see how much I ended up plotting, I guess, for that book. And I technically didn't outline the like fun and games sort of middle section of the book. And I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. I thought I had like outlined just like a little bit. Like it definitely wasn't an outline, but I thought I had like points to reach. And I was like, why does that one feel so much more complete than this one feels right now? And I think it's just because how I ended up outlining Project Moonrat, it had given us a clear physical goal for them to strive towards. It wasn't just, oh, this character needs to overcome blah, blah, blah. It was like, no, these two characters have met up and now they have to go do this one thing. So it's like, that was a little different. And I think that's all I really want to get up to in this project as well. Just showing up and being like, okay, this is what they need to do. Not just kill the leader, but like, what is their idea of how to start like getting towards that? What is something they can actually do during the book before they actually like can achieve their goals, you know? I don't know what. I kind of want it to be like, oh, actually, maybe they can like tag team a sort of thing, because the male main character is a member of the house. He's a member of the most important house in the sort of coalition of houses. So he technically, well, especially after the catalyst, he holds a fair amount of power. He doesn't want to hold power. He doesn't like being in power. He'd rather be a follower. Me too. But he does hold a fair bit of power. And I'm thinking maybe he could use that to help my female main character do what she needs to. That could do it. I don't know if that would get boring though. I feel like maybe I could make it work, especially because there's gonna be two main characters, two subplots, or two main plots that kind of come together. I might have just figured it out, actually. We're gonna jot that down real quick. Okay. So that's an idea. The only thing is, I've set up a main conflict between these two characters that would make this not really work entirely. My female main character wants to kill the leader of this city. the male main character is like, no, don't do that. You're gonna ruin everything. Like this, he is the single pin that is holding the houses together from all out house war. And she doesn't listen to him. She's like, no, this ruler is evil. He's doing bad things. And the only way to eradicate those bad things is by getting rid of him. She's very firm on that. That is established from the beginning. She tells him she wants to kill the leader. He tells her that's a bad idea. So I don't know if what I had come up with, maybe he ends up like trying to convince her like otherwise. This is how my story process goes. It's chaotic, it's messy. And I feel like I didn't document the more chaotic parts in the Moonrats version, but I was thinking about it and I was like sitting here in silence. Like I've had to pause my YouTube video because I like couldn't think of anything. Just to show you like, yeah, this part isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It doesn't happen super quick like, you know, the editing cut makes it look. I've been sitting here with nothing else added except for what I just typed up for the past 40 minutes. Good stuff, good stuff. But talking, dust storm still happening outside. Talking to the camera, I think, helped. I think I might have something I can work with. Let me add that. Thunder. Maybe a trash can fell over, I don't know. Okay, wait, I think this might, hold on, this could be fun. This could be a fun little mystery, like an add-on to the mystery. Stop, this could be good. I hope there's not rain coming. I still need to go to the grocery store. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna finish this real quick. Oh. Okay. I got to add all this stuff right here. Very cool. I think that's pretty good. Okay, I think though that I am all done with this brainstorming session. That was so fast. That was so easy. I think it definitely helped that I have already thought of this project before. I have already tried to write this project before, so it's been in my head previously. I have a pimple patch on that pimple from before, and now it just looks like a giant booger's hanging out of my nose. Definitely think it helped that I already was semi-aware of this project and I wasn't building it all the way from the ground up like Project Moonrat was, but it's cool. I already have like a visual of what I want the city that they live in to look like. It's gonna be very like steampunky-ish. I love steampunk, not gonna lie. I'm excited to like try and explore what that'll be like. The houses, got that figured out. I think that was a big thing when I was trying to draft it in 2021, was that I didn't know the houses. I didn't know that world yet. I don't even think I really knew I wanted the male main character to be a main character. I kind of just wanted him to like tag along with my main character. And then I started writing and I was like, ooh, he should actually be like a perspective that we see in the book. So that also kind of messed things up. But I know the houses now to an extent. Definitely need to add more detail to that. But like the basic idea is in there. Nice. And through the houses, I feel like I was able to visualize the city more, get more of an idea of like how it's running, what it looks like, what they live off of. Also, the fact that this world revolves around precious gemstones and that magic. Like, I mean, I knew it was going to have that in there because that was the concept of the jade daggers. But I like how I was able to tie it into the economics of the city. I don't know what it is, but that is the main thing that I like being able to do, is turn whatever conflict we have in stories, or at least like these big overarching stories, and turn them into like economic and like political problems. So being able to do that is really nice. Just giving it that much more of a stake in the story. I feel like the characters are fairly solid. Obviously they're not going to be solid until I draft them, probably a couple times, because that's really where I actually put the real character work in, is when I'm drafting. But otherwise, I am fairly happy with this. And this went way faster than Project Moonrat. Again, on account of all the things that I said earlier. I've been here for one day. I've been here for one afternoon, pretty much. I mean, it's 8 p.m. now, so that's not really afternoon. But the amount of stuff I now know about the project is like 3 times as much as I knew when I was trying to write the book in NaNoWriMo, I don't know what I was thinking. To be fair, I was fairly new to writing at the time, and I was still trying to find my like writing self, I guess, like how I try to write. So, you know, that definitely taught me that I couldn't just pants a book. But now I think what I have is going to be enough to actually outline this. Exciting, exciting. Okay, I think I'm either gonna have 1 or 2 more projects in this series. I'll have to see what I think. I have 2 more. There's another fantasy. It's like a subverted chosen one trope fantasy. And then I have this other like anti-hero story. It's just fun. It's just a fun story. I think I was writing it for the first time when I was first trying out Papyrus Author. I was just using it as like a project to try and like test whether or not I liked Papyrus Author. This was ages ago. I was still writing in Google Docs primarily, but I had Papyrus just on my computer. And I would go in there every now and then to like just tweak something or another in that project. It's about teenagers with superpowers. They're fighting against a corporation. Yeah, that's about all I know. So look out for those videos in the future, and look out for some more fun videos involving this new era of projects. Because I have a couple more in store that I think will be a lot of fun. But anyways, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Let me know how your writing's going. Let me know how the retreat is going. Let me know how much work you guys put into the initial brainstorming process. Do you guys do like a ton? Do you guys just jump in blind? What do you guys do? Let me know. I feel like I might be kind of middle ground, probably closer to like an elaborate brainstorming process, because I know like the smallest amount of brainstorming process is like, I have an idea of a character, I have an idea of a world, we're gonna start drafting, and that's terrifying. I could never do that. But let me know what your guys' brainstorming looks like for a project, and everything else in the comments. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace. Wow.